How is it rocking, Dwayne Nation? Stay here because we are just about to get underway. In the meantime, please like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. We put out weekly sports content, and we want to continue to build up Dwayne Nation and the brand that is Dwayne Sports. Thank you all, and enjoy. Welcome in, Dwayne Nation. This is your host, Justin Pies, alongside Janoah Agudelo, and we are here to discuss Week 8 of the NFL season. It's crazy that we're already here. There is no bye weeks this week, so we're going to discuss 16 whole games. So really excited to get down to it. Obviously, this episode is our rapid-fire game picks. We'll see if we can beat our times from last week and continue our picks. We feel like we've been pretty hot. In picking the right teams to win these games. So if you're in Pick'ems or Survivor, check this out. But before we dive into everything, Janoah, how you feeling, man?
Yo, Dewey Nation. Justin, I'm doing good. Hey, we're on another week of football. Very exciting here, Justin. I'm excited to get down. This is about to be a fun weekend. You mentioned no bye weeks this weekend, so it's pretty much essentially like week 1, week 2. The season's been so exciting, Justin. I've enjoyed every second of the way. But we need some wins this week in fantasy, and we need some trades possibly in our push for the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, obviously we saw the D-Hop trade to Kansas City this week, which was a pretty wild one. I feel like we'll discuss that more in our other episodes. But then also, right before game time tonight, we have the return of Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Very cool. I think this game might just turn into a shootout. So I'm very excited for that. But let's dive into the game predictions. I'll start us off as usual. Are you ready with the timer?
Here, let me get this ready to go. Remember, I think you were at 145.
I was quick. I think I was like 120 last time.
Okay.
I think it was John Michael was 140, and then JoJo's was longest, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, I'm ready. Tell me when. Count me down.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right, so I was 10-5 last week. We're going to do even better this week. So we're start with Thursday night. I got the Vikings at the Rams. I'm going Minnesota, even though I think this game is going to be a shootout, a massive shootout. Then we go to Sunday. We got the Eagles and the Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals to win at home. Their defense has been improving over the last couple of weeks. Then we have Baltimore at Cleveland. I'm going Baltimore on the road. This game's going to be closer, though. I like Jameis Winston at quarterback. Then we got Tennessee at Detroit. Detroit wins easy. Arizona, Miami. Tua gets a big win in his first game back. We get the Jets at the Patriots. I got the Jets winning. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Now that Tampa Bay is, with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans injured, I'm going with Atlanta. Then we got Green Bay at Jacksonville. Green Bay for sure. Then we got the Colts at Houston. Houston is mad. They lost last week. They're going to get a big win at home. Then we got the Saints at the Chargers. This one's tough, but I got the Chargers actually with Spencer Rattler still starting at quarterback. Then we got the Bills and the Seahawks with no Metcalf. I really like the Bills on the road. I'll go Buffalo. Carolina at Denver. Denver's going to win this game. With Bryce Young returning at quarterback for the Panthers. Then we got the Chiefs at the Raiders. I think this game's going to be a little bit closer than we think, but I'll still stick with the Chiefs to win on the road. Then we got the Bears at the Commanders. I got the Commanders winning. Pretty emphatic W. I think Chicago comes out slow out of the bye. Then we got Dallas at San Francisco. I'm going San Francisco. This is Jordan Mason's final game that he's going to go super bananas. Then we got Monday night, and then I got the Giants versus the Steelers, and I'm going with the Steelers.
All right, Justin, 125. I think you beat your record from last week.
I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, let me get mine out, and you can count me down when you're ready.
All right. Let's do it. I'm ready. All
right.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
All right, so in Los Angeles tonight, I'm going to take the Rams, upsetting the Vikings. Puka and Cooper Kupp have a great game. Then we go to Cincinnati. They host Philadelphia. This is the Super Bowl matchup I was dreaming for just 2 years ago. But I'm going to go and get Philly on the road and an upset. Then we go to Cleveland. Give me Baltimore. They dominate. Let's go to Detroit, where they face Tennessee. They dominate. Give me the Lions. Then we go to Miami. Tua has a big game. Tyreek is back in the fantasy graces. Give me the Dolphins. Then we go to New England. Give me the Jets to finally get their win. Devontae Adams shows that he's one of the best receivers in the league. Then we go to Tampa, where they host Atlanta. Tampa has a ton of injuries on the offensive side. Let me get Atlanta on this one. Then we go to Jacksonville. I think Green Bay dominates. Give me the Packers. We go to Houston, which this is a tough one. I think the Colts upset us. Give me the Colts. Then we go to Los Angeles. They dominate the Saints. Spencer Rattler has not looked good so far. I really like him, but he doesn't look good. Then we go to Seattle. Geno Smith sucks. Josh Allen, stud. He dominates in Seattle. Give me the Bills. Then we go to Denver, where Bryce Young actually puts up a fight, but that Denver defense is just tough. They win. Give me the Broncos. We go to Vegas, where, hey, Patrick Mahomes now has a new target to play with to go along with Xavier Worthy. Give me the Chiefs in Vegas. Let's go to Washington, where a lot of people are picking the Washington Commanders. I like the Bears and their defense to hold straight and shock the Commanders. Let's go to San Francisco next on Sunday Night Football. They have a lot of injuries. Give me the Cowboys off the bye week, shocking the 49ers a week before McCaffrey comes back. Lastly, on Monday Night Football, give me Pittsburgh. Daniel Jones struggles.
Dang. All right, you got a minute 33. So I win this week. Let's see if I win the right amount. I mean, we have a ton of different picks this week. I got the Vikings, you got the Rams, I got the Bengals, you got the Eagles, I got the Texans, you got the Colts, I have the Commanders, you have the Bears, and I have the Niners, you have the Cowboys. So somebody's coming. That's crazy.
I have a couple thoughts though, Justin. First of all, tonight's matchup Thursday night has to be the battle of like the prettiest stadiums ever, with the Rams who play in SoFi, and the Vikings that play it. I think it's Bank of America. No, it's not Bank of America. That's Carolina. I forgot what it is. It's such a pretty stadium though. It has
U.S. Bank.
US Bank. It wasn't Bank of America's. I think that's Carolina's stadium. And then I mentioned that Cincinnati and Philadelphia. This was like a dream Super Bowl matchup that I had a few years ago, but the Chiefs ended up beating the Bengals in the AFC title game. The Chiefs ended up going all the way and defeating Philly. But Justin, that was the year where AJ Brown is still on fire right now, but AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Goddard had a fantastic year that year, and so did Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It would have been great to see them in the Super Bowl that year. I think Kansas City was a little boring on the offensive side that year, even though Mahomes won MVP. But that was just a dream matchup, and I always wondered a Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts kind of matchup there. I think they faced each other in college. And I believe that might have been SEC title game or maybe the first round of the playoffs. I don't think it was SEC title game because Oklahoma wasn't in the SEC yet. So that was a matchup that I think Burrow and LSU was able to dominate Oklahoma. Looking over the schedule, I think it was like 59-7 or something like that. Yeah. Crazy. Looking over the rest of the games, I was tempted to pick the Patriots over the Jets just because they're home and New York is still kind of struggling. But I think that New York has been on a losing streak, and I think that Rodgers is too talented enough with that offense to lose. Let me see. Looking over here, not too many surprises here. I think that Josh Allen has a great game this week. I do think he might possibly finish top 3 on the week in fantasy. Looking over the last 2 matches, I want to kind of comment on. I think that the Bears win this game on the road through their defense. I think Caleb Williams struggles. I do think he might throw in a touchdown as well as a few picks. But I think that this Chicago defense is legit, and they're able to lock down. Is Jaden Daniels playing? I do think that he might be playing. But if it's Mariota though playing, Justin, I feel like the Bears could definitely win. But if it's Daniels, I do think that Daniels has a good game, but that rib injury kind of shows, and I think that the Bears defense can take advantage there. So I kind of take Chicago either way. And lastly, that Sunday Night Football matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers. This is a matchup that they had around this time last year on Sunday Night Football, and the 49ers won 42-10. And you got to remember they had McCaffrey and Ayuk. They also had a healthy Debo, and they possibly won't have all 3 of those guys. I mean, definitely McCaffrey and Ayuk are out of this game. And I think that's the difference maker here. And also, you got to understand that these Cowboys they might be mad. They came off an ugly, loss before the bye week. They've had a bye week, so I like the Cowboys to upset. If they don't win it this Sunday night, I mean, I don't think McCarthy should fly home with them. It's kind of like that thing last week where we were saying if Doug Peterson doesn't win this in London, he shouldn't, fly back with the team. And that's kind of like my feelings for a coach going into this week. That if McCarthy has a bad performance, a bad coaching performance, I think that it's time to make a change for sure if the Dallas Cowboys want to save their season.
Yeah, I think that's interesting that you bring that up. Debo's, he's on the fence if he's going to play, and then of course Ayuk and McCaffrey with big injuries. We'll see. I mean, Dallas obviously it was this time last year where they started hitting their stride on offense, and that's what led them to winning the division. I can't go as far as to picking them to win this game just because it's in Levi, and Dallas usually struggles on the road. But I was going back to this Cincinnati Philadelphia game, and back in March, that was my Super Bowl prediction. So I mean, obviously, I've since flipped to the Houston Texans and the Packers. But I think that game's going to be. I think it's going to be interesting. I think Saquon's going to have a big game. Stay tuned for bold predictions. You might hear a couple things on that from me. I have a take on that game that I think is going to be intriguing for Dewey Nation to listen to. But yeah, there's a lot of good games this week. Wow, and the fact that we're misaligned on a lot of them it's interesting. It makes Sunday even more interesting. So I'm excited to go head to head on that with you. And we're facing off in the big money league this week. I believe you just stole the Chargers defense from me off waivers. I was trying to pick them up, so thanks for that. That hurts. And I got to go against Derrick Henry, so I'm a little scared. But I really need this win. I think I'm 2-5 in that league. I've had like 3 games where I've lost by under 10, which is sad.
That's been a kind of a pattern this year in all kind of fantasy leagues. The comebacks. I mean, it's been like that. I almost lost last week in one of our main leagues due to Rashad White and Kate Otten kind of going off on Monday night. I barely won by like 5. So that's kind of been a thing. There's been a lot of matchups in our leagues where there's been comebacks, and that hasn't really been a thing, Justin. And this year has been pretty crazy in fantasy. One last thing I want to mention with that Cincinnati and Philly game, it's the battle of the number 1 wide receivers and the battle of number 2 wide receivers. Like, I mean, does it get any better than that? A.J. Brown, obviously, he's missed a couple games this year. But if he would have played all year, you could make the argument that he'd probably lead the league in receiving yards. Jamar Chase is stud. And then it's interesting because T. Higgins is back. He's back to regular old T. Higgins, which we all love. And then Devontae Smith, he's back as well. And so, these are the battle of the number 1, 2s, the battle of the 2 best receiving duos. I know there's a couple out there that go as long as tonight. Cooper Kupp and Puka will be back. So that's an exciting matchup that I wanted to see the Super Bowl. Gladly we get to see it, now with all players healthy and still on the prospective teams.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I especially tonight's game. Now that Kupp and Puka, as you mentioned, are back, it's going to be fireworks. So stay tuned for the rest of our takes, Dween Nation. Hopefully, we'll see who's right. I mean, after tonight, somebody will be wrong. So either Vikings are going to win or the Rams are going to win or a crazy tie. But so stay tuned, Dween Nation. Thanks for listening. And Janoah, send us out.
Yeah, Dween Nation, thanks for listening to us. This was our picks of the week, our rapid fire picks. Make sure to check us out, man. We're so excited for this weekend. Thanks for watching. Click up above for some more episodes. We have a lot of content for you guys during the week. We love you guys. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.